Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Atlas Premier P42 Genesis locomotive. It's the Metro North New York Central Heritage number 211. It's just in from Mr. Muffin's Trains, and let's have a look. First, a little background on the prototype. For those not familiar with Metro North, it's a commuter railroad. It runs from Grand Central Terminal in Manhattan to points north over 3 lines: the Hudson Line, the Harlem Line, and the New Haven Line. And it reaches into upstate New York and Connecticut. It's basically the remnants of the old New York Central. And a few years back, they started putting some heritage units out. There's one for Penn Central, one for Conrail, a couple for the New Haven. And a couple of years back, they came out with the New York Central. And since that's the railroad that I model, I was very much looking forward to this. I think I pre-ordered it from Mr. Muffin about a year ago, and it just came in. Now, I've actually seen this locomotive, the real one, the prototype. It's still running, runs on mostly on the Hudson Line, I think, up to Poughkeepsie. I've ridden on the train behind it a few times. I've got tons of videos of it. And the first thing I have to say, it's the elephant in the room, is that the paint scheme is way off. Now, that's surprising because I started buying Atlas Premier O P42s when they first came out a few years ago, and they've been almost uniformly excellent in terms of the paint schemes. I mean, they're excellent in just about every way. They work right out of the box. Not a lot of issues, which I've had with certain other O scale manufacturers. And the paint schemes, the finishes are really excellent. In fact, this model has features on it that you would normally only get in a Lionel Legacy or Vision Line. Some of the details, which I'll show you, are above and beyond what you would get with a regular Lionel locomotive, and it's about half the price of the typical Lionel Legacy. So I have to say that I've always been impressed with Atlas. They work well, they look great, and the paint schemes, I've got a few Amtraks and such that are just, I mean, near perfect. But something went wrong here in the translation, and just as a way of illustrating that, I'll insert a video here that I took about a year ago of the actual 211 running up by Hastings, and you'll see the massive color difference. But that said, it doesn't really bother me. I love this model. It's kind of like an unusual kind of a chocolate brown color, whereas the real New York Central Heritage unit is like a battleship gray, as you'll see. The only other major difference is the Genesis locomotives on the Metro North are P32s. And this is a P42 because that's the tooling, that's the model. All the other models in this line are Amtrak P42s, which are correct. But in order to make it a Metro North, they would have had to retool it to make it a P32, which is slightly different dimensions. It has no rear door, for example, that these have. And I mean, it has 1,000 less horsepower, but that doesn't really matter in the model world here. But except for those 2 differences, it's really fantastic. I know some people are not going to get past the paint color problem, but it doesn't really bother me. So let's, first of all, let me insert the video right here so you can see the prototype and compare. Okay, let's start her up and go over some of the features. So I'm running this on the new WTIU from MTH. So that allows you to access some of the features, such as extended startup, which is what this is.
Are you ready to go? You're ready to move. Let's have a safe run today. Roger that.
Another nice feature is they did insert in the passenger freight announcements actual stations along the Metro North Hudson Line. These are the stations that many of which I've been to on this actual train. And with one exception, they're perfectly normal, but let me just play the exception for you.
Grand Central Station.
Yeah, so as anyone who knows the New York Central and the history, Grand Central Station was torn down 100 plus years ago. It's Grand Central Terminal because it's the last stop, it's not a station, and it's kind of a sore point with some rail fans, I know. And for some reason, Atlas, which is located in New Jersey, and I'm sure the workers there have all been to Grand Central Terminal, they missed that one. But that's okay. When you're on the actual train, they announce the stop as Grand Central. They don't even venture into whether it's station or terminal. They just say Grand Central. But here are some of the other ones, all stations I've been to, which is kind of fun.
Grand Central Station, Yankee Stadium, Harlem, Yonkers, Hastings on Hudson,
That's where I filmed the video that we just looked at.
Terrytown, Beacon.
There's also Poughkeepsie, which is the end of the line, I think. But I can't play that one separately on the DCS. So now some of the nice features that I mentioned, which normally you only see on really high ends like a Lionel Legacy. They've got the builder plates.
Get B&B to check that
Really,
out.
sorry about that. Really detailed. I have to get my magnifying glass out. They've got that color right there on the red, perfect. They've got all kinds of, safety warnings. Just really impressive. I mean, I have a number of New York Central Lionel Legacy locomotives that don't even have some of these features. So, and they cost, as I said, it's about twice as much. So kudos to Atlas. They're doing a great job. The thing runs great, looks great, priced well. As I said, the only problem is color, but of course Lionel is famous for messing up their colors too, and they've had some New York Central runs which were wrong, but not quite as wrong as this. I mean, this is not gray, but I still really like the model, and I still recommend it, and I think we'll get her out on the road now. Hold on.
We're ready. Tell them to close that up. Another job well done. I can't wait till next order. Let's go to the office and mark off. Roger that.
Okay, there you have it. Another great job by Atlas. Highly recommended.